what do you think about the concept of eating a raw food diet where you're eating greens and sprouts instead of and sprouted beans like sprouted chickpeas, sprouted lentils? The claim is that you get hormones, oxygen, phytonutrients, enzymes that are lost when you cook. Is this something we should try to get more of? What is your thought on that?
I think so. I try to eat a lot of raw food myself. I don't want to eat, I don't advocate a 100% all raw food diet because I think by eating cooked foods, we can increase the amount of anti-longevity promoting foods like beans and mushrooms that we can eat, things we can eat that are, why not eat some steamed broccoli? I mean, but the point I'm making is here is yes, that raw food and sprouts have some unique and beneficial properties, and we should try to include them in our diet on a daily basis. So I do. So as you know, I'm eating one of my mantras is to make the salad the main dish, at least one meal a day. And in the salad, because I consider lettuce a superfood, by the way. Lettuce is the richest source of sulfoquinolose, which activates the good growth of good healthy bacteria in the gut. But when you mix lettuces with a green, raw cruciferous green at the same time, with raw onion and scallion, then you've got a magic reason. With sprouts too. Then the topping on the cake. This is the longevity cake we're making now. We're building this longevity cake with raw green vegetables, both types of lettuces and cruciferous greens and sprouts and onion or scallion. And the topping on the cake is the icing, which is the dressing made from nuts and seeds, because you absorb 40 times as much of the anti-cancer nutrients when you eat some fat or nuts with that meal. It doesn't have to be the dressing. You could have some handful of walnuts in the same meal as the salad and get the same effect. But we put a healthy dressing on the salad. I might make from tomato sauce with almonds and walnuts and a little black fig vinegar and a little roasted garlic in there. I'll make a delicious dressing. But so yes, the formula for a long life is including those raw vegetable compounds in your diet because the enzymes that form the protective anti-cancer compounds, like the myrosinase enzyme in green cruciferous vegetable that forms the ITCs in the mouth as you chew, and the alliinase enzyme in scallion and onions that forms the anti-cancer organosulfide compounds and sulfenic acid. That's why people cut an onion, it makes their eyes tear, right? So these enzymes are heat sensitive, and eating more of these foods raw, we get more of the anti-cancer benefits. But there's one thing that's really important here that I found that I was fascinated by. The people who got the best results for the longest life and low rates of cancer were people who had the most urinary ITCs, which means that the ones that it's how well they chewed the food affected how much of the ITCs were released into the bloodstream. So if I'm going to put together a healthy salad for you with sprouts and arugula and watercress and butter lettuce and some tomatoes and onion and scallion, make it as healthy as salad, and you eat it fast and you don't chew it that well, your blood ITCs and your urinary ITCs may not be that high. But after you eat the whole salad over again with a complete different mindset, where you make the effort to chew every mouthful to a complete liquid, instead of just eating it quickly and swallowing it, you really chew it to a complete liquid, we could see the ITCs in the urine increase tenfold by how well you chewed the salad. It's so fascinating how it's not what you eat, it's what you eat and how well you chew it that determines the profound benefits. Because as you're saying, when you eat these raw foods, the breaking up of the cells in your mouth forms the anti-cancer compounds in your mouth, and you form extra longevity compounds chewing rather than blending, chewing really well, because mixing it with the saliva and the bacteria in the mouth also enhances the anti-inflammatory and health and anti-aging effects. There's a lot of factors that are going on here that when we do things right. But it doesn't mean I think your diet is more sustainable and tastes better and makes it easier for people to follow it long term if we make delicious tasting recipes and we add some cooked food to the diet as well. So I'm not so and my experience with caring for raw foodists over the last 30 years was that so many of them get into trouble in later life because they wind up eating too much fruit and not enough, and they don't have enough calories from vegetables with all the raw food. It doesn't give them enough calories, and they're eating too much fruit and too much avocado, and then they're losing. So they're losing the not getting it. So they're not getting enough protein really, because the plant-based diet, the only out of the five plant foods we have fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts and seeds, and intact whole grains. Five categories of plant foods. The only one low in protein is fruit. So the only way you can get your diet too low in fruit is if you eat mostly fruit, or as we age and our protein needs go up, if we overdo the fruit. And some I've seen over the years, some long-term vegan, raw food vegans overdo the fruit, and because of that, they develop immune system issues in later life because of probably of lack of protein from eating too much fruit. Just like when you start eating a plant-based diet from these five plant foods, and instead of eating nuts and seeds for your source of fat, you put 500 to 600 calories of olive oil on or oil on your diet. Well, you just removed 15 grams of protein from your diet because you used the oil as your source of fat instead of a whole food like nuts and seeds, which contain fat and protein and fiber and protective phytochemicals. So I'm also saying that protein, you're going to get enough protein eating healthy foods, but you can mess up the protein by putting in too much fruit or too much oil in your diet instead of eating a whole food in its place.